And hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the proud owner of the great painting, which is the newest one out there of Leonardo da Vinci's. I'm showing you the picture of the beautiful woman that is in before you, that is in the painting, which I named Dion. This is something I want to kind of like get across for you to understand of the magnificent talent of his that's in the eyes of my woman, that will get you to go, ah. It's totally unbelievable. First of all, let me kind of shoot down to what I want to explain first before we get into it. And I'm going to shoot and show you this piece right here. And I'm going to aim a light at it. And what it is, let me get that. It's a Lincoln penny, but it's really large. And I want to show you, you see the top of his head, not the hair here, but here. Just like you took off that toupee only. That area there is so happens to be the size of my woman's eye. So I want you to get out your penny and take a look at the size I'm talking about, please. Thank you. Because it would really help to try to show you the absolute unbelievable size. Now, I had this shot with a 100 megapixel phase 1 camera, an inch off or inch and a half off, and it comes out to be each photo about a inch by inch and a half, about the size of your thumb. Super high contrast content brought in it, okay, with full CMOS. This is a double image. This particular piece, when you really get into it, is an owl on one end and an owl on the other end, and many different people built within. But it's also a Pope from the Vatican. Okay, so now we're going to get, this is her left eye, and to get into her left eye, you're going to see when you blow this up, that's a big bear, a big bear on an arm. Okay, these little stars are portraits that I can't even open up. You get over to this area, it's in the duck area, and you can see the man's face. Watch. Look at the size of that. You see the man's face right there? An eye, and a hat, face, nose, sloopy mouth. Okay. You get into these areas. He even makes these look like faces. What he does is he builds these things like a totem pole. Now this symbol is absolutely many things. You can see a little green tiger here. Oh no, you can see that. See? Little face of a tiger right here. And then you can see the crown of a tiger. That'd be a face and a face, and then there's another face and face, and then he has another little face right there with a nose on it. And then he has another one and another one. It goes endless. There's also another face right there. These are items that are so small, unable to be seen with the human eye. Okay, all these things, even when they're blurry, okay, if I was to get the right depth, look at that, there's a face right there. See, if I was to get the right, now that's a whole person right there. There's another face right there. These stars are something else. Because what's funny is while he's painting all these models, he's also singing. These are a music sheet. You can see, and then he's spelling stuff. See? Like S-A-L, okay? S-A-L, he keeps spelling it. And he throws in his lover's name, as you can see. You don't you see it? Whoa, I don't know what that's about, but probably telling me I'm overloaded. You can see the backwards S's. You can see backwards S's. You can see the forward SS. Okay. Here's a sideways A, here's an L, here's another A. He spells out Sali everywhere. He loves Sali. Okay? I'll pull this back down. And you can see again, he loves to fly too. Loves to fly. Oh my God. Flying everywhere. All in cartoons all the time. Look at that. These are like spaceships. I know this sounds kind of weird. You got to be a cartoonist to understand this. But these are little itty bitty people riding on like the Milky Way that's brown. And no matter which way you turn it or go in circles, you are flying. So that means if I flipped it upside down, there's people here to be upright. If I turn it, which angle, no matter what. But look what's in the corner here. I don't know if that shows up too good. It's a dog. You can see the eye, ears, and there's bodies on top of it. So each one of these, just this alone, this area here that he puts in, is probably got, by the time you turn it in every degree, my guess is probably got easily 5,000 images in it. Because look, if you really look, there's a top hat here. And to build that top hat is each nut or nub. And then there's a straight line. And it goes on and on. So if you count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. You got 22 times 17. You got well over 300. Okay? And that's only in this particular area. And then you got to figure each time you turn it 1 degrees, which is 360 degrees. So now you got 360 times 300, which are at 10,000 images. And then it gets wilder, because then you get into color, then you get into depth, then you get into other images. Now here we go. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to these images. I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to concentrate here. Look at it. See that D right in front of you? See? He spells out his letters. That's a D. He spells out his letters and items in his painting. Okay? Now, when I take this and I go to adjustment and I go to invert, whoops. You see how the images completely change? And I ask no, because I don't want to save that. And then when you get into when you get into Here we go. We get into these images, you'll find that in the eye, sorry about that, in the eye of the Mona Lisa, it does not show because it's not a high good resolution. So if I pull this down and I go into the eye, see, you're not going to get those images that we're talking about, okay? Because they never shot it with my type of high pixels, or they've deliberately tried to distort it, or that they don't really know the depth that you can really go into. I guess maybe they got paid enough and hung it on the wall and called it quits. But this is a fact. If you take a look at inner hairline, see, it spells out Leonardo. Watch. And the way it spells it out is in many different ways. He spells it out in the stars here, and then it's Leonar. This is an R, and then you got a DO, and it continues over this way. But out of that, it also spells Melzi Francisca, the man he lived with till 1519, till the day he died. It also spells out Leonardo da Vinci. And then it also, as you can see, you see all these S's? He's also spelling out Sali. Okay? The man is crazy in love. I do believe it was considered to be a 3-ring love affair. And they all lived together. Sali lived till 1518, and Melzi inherited everything except for the Mona, is what is been told, what I've learned. But what I learned was, in the painting, at one time in my life, I would really have to go back into my research, is that he, see, that's a riding. He's riding. See, that's got a crown, and he's got an eye and an eye. It's kind of like a pug-nosed dog with on top of another pug-nose, cartoonish, and they're riding, and it looks like a teddy bear back in here. And these are all images and items and round little doodads that like SpongeBob's or whatever you might want to call them. And there's thousands of them that build this whole image. But anyway, he's playing music. And I found in the painting, like I was about to say, it said that the inheritance was to go to Melzi Francisca. And I have it in there somewhere. Also, there was a spot, and listen to this, that I found that said it was on, forgive me on the date, exactly, you know, I got a lot on my mind. I think it was like 1509 or 10 or so, or maybe 11. Might have been 11. Anyway, it was before, right around, I do believe Melzi would have been 17. He wasn't 18, the way I figured it, and he was December 25th, and I think it was 1509. I'm not sure. You can't hold me to that until I really get into it, but I'm just letting you know what I did see. And what it said, no ring. And I just, my heart broke. No ring? No ring on Christmas Day? So apparently he didn't get his ring on Christmas Day, that he was heartbroken. And this went on for a long time. I'm thinking about this real sad deal that he's got no ring. And I just saw something else, excuse me. And about a year later, I find in one of the little writings, which you've got to put these together and look at it under different ways, and they come out, and they're wild little monkey little splats that are extremely difficult to read. And it said ring. He finally got his ring a year later. But boy, Christmas Day, no ring. But if you look at this, this is an eye and an eye like Mr. Grinch. And he's riding it like a spaceship on this deal here, that as you see. And if you take a look, this is the same type of symbol, this general area, like a sloop, like a snail, that is in the Mona. And watch this. See the sloop? Okay. Oops. This is a full body sloop. Okay. So I want to try to let you know that this person has painted items that were so unbelievable in size. Now this is a dog. I've showed this to you before. That's a dog aiming upward. And here's the face, and then he's got a red collar, which is the preacher or pastor with a crown. I've showed that to you before in my YouTubes. See, he's got a crown up on top right here, the little spike crown like the statue in his face, and a red body. But these red bodies are bodies on top of bodies on top of bodies that make the body. And this, when you get into big detail of blowing it up, it actually becomes dove wings that makes his ears. And the way you can get deeper into this is you can download some of this stuff. You have to do it at night and in a super dark room, and you download it on a 577 PPI phone, and it actually ends up giving you some pretty well hidden items that are in there real deep, and things really burst. And so it's very interesting that these items become so unique. See how I'm changing the colors and they bring out? So if I do this, see how they change? If you change it, now that's a person's face in the stars. Okay, you can see it. See, you wouldn't have seen that if I just click out of it. See, but you can actually see a ring floating. So during this process, now you can actually see an eye and an eye and a nose. See? Whoops. You can see an eye and an eye and a nose and a mouth. And that's his little tricks. You can also see writing going across. This is writing of some words that's all done in code. And what's really cool, if you take a look at this line, you see this line that runs across? That line with these images in here are little, you can see some of the images of art. You see the face? You can see the face right there? And you can see like Mr. Stick, okay, and stuff, and all these little dots. Okay, this is not an accident with a brush. If I had something like a 250 megapixel camera and had it shot about 300,000 times. And then I had it stitched, and then I had it x-rayed about 300 times, and that'd be just the front, not just the back. See, this is a saucer, a flying saucer right there. Believe it or not, it's a flying saucer airplane. That's an airplane flying. You can see people up on top. Okay, they're like wing walkers and flying. And if you flip it around, he's here too. Leonardo da Vinci's having a blast with his pupils and just enjoying life. And he's spelling out and telling them the story. This is an actual person here. Look, this is an actual person sitting on, you can see his leg. He's here, all highlighted, on the string like on a rope, and his legs hanging down. Boom. He's Mr. like green long manta. And that's the way Leonardo da Vinci enjoyed his life. And it's like a manta riding another manta. Because look, here's he riding. Here's another stick hanging onto the bottom, which he's actually probably when he's flipped around and whatnot. And then you got the other manta running over here with his nose and his eyes. He's flying around seeing all his buddies out in the sky. And it gets wilder because this not only turns into the universe, when you get deeper into it, like I did with the